How often do you feed your betta fish? But have you ever considered that the amount of feed you give it can slowly make it sick? Because both overfeeding and underfeeding can harm your betta. If the routine is disrupted, digestion is disrupted. If the clock is off, his stress increases. And one too many pellets can sometimes upset its entire internal balance. In this video, we will answer the when and how much questions in 6 topics. Number 1. Every surface exit doesn't mean you want bait. Betta fish are both curious and instinctive animals. The way they glide towards the surface is often like saying to their owner, "Notice me." But this behavior isn't just about hunger, as you might think. Most bettas have a natural attraction to moving objects. So the movement of your hand, the reflection of light, or even a shadow can attract their attention and cause them to surface. Therefore, interpreting every time it surfaces as asking for food can start a habit of overfeeding without realizing it. And over time, this cycle becomes not only a physical but also a behavioral habit. If your betta learns that it will be fed every time it surfaces, this expectation can become a new source of stress for it. It may become restless when the feed doesn't arrive, and when it does, it may consume more than it needs and have digestive problems. However, it is not always a pellet that the betta needs. Sometimes it's just to feel your presence, and sometimes it's to take part in the calm flow of the routine. The regular feeding times you create for him will not only relax his stomach but also his mind. Number 2. 1 day a week. Hunger day. Sometimes giving nothing is actually good for your betta. Because your betta fish, just like us, needs to stop, digest, and regenerate from time to time. Feeding once a week is not neglect. It is a conscious break, a compassionate silence. A betta whose digestive system is constantly working starts to slow down after a while. The body is constantly struggling to absorb every new nutrient that arrives, but every effort leaves a mark on your fish. That's why not feeding 1 day a week offers his body an interval of relaxation. Excess is digested, bloating is reduced, inner balance is restored. Just like a creature in nature that sometimes cannot hunt and rests for a day, your betta at home will also recover with this break. Moreover, combining this day with a water change can also turn into a beneficial routine for him. Together, new, clean water and a break for the digestive system become a renewal ritual. If practiced on the same day every week, your betta's internal clock is balanced. In time, he learns to wait, and this waiting is filled with peace. Number 3. Occasional different flavors. Nutrition is not just about survival. From time to time, it is also necessary to taste, to want change, to remember a natural instinct. Betta fish are also predators by nature. They are sensitive to movement, they react to life, they follow it. So sometimes just feeding pellets is not enough for them. They also need to be mentally different, stimulated, to feel alive. High-quality betta pellets used as standard food are the safest and most balanced choice for the daily routine. However, feeding only this food for a long period of time can both reduce his interest and lead to nutrient deficiencies. So once or twice a week, give him a different taste. It can be both a surprise for him and a great contribution to his health. Near-live foods such as frozen mosquito larvae, unsalted artemia, unsalted shrimp fry, and daphnia reminds him of his feeding experience in nature. These feeds are rich in protein, support digestion, and strengthen the immune system. In addition, at such times, your betta is mentally stimulated, animated, and revitalized, not only by eating, but also by showing hunting behaviors. When offering these different flavors, it is important to control the quantity, because no matter how natural it is, too much of it can still destabilize. But a small piece of frozen larvae, given judiciously, is a novelty for his day, can bring joy to your week. Number 4. You observe loss of appetite. You saw your betta not approach the bait that morning. Maybe he saw the pellet, looked at it, but walked away without touching it. Your first reaction may be anxiety. Because she's turning away something you've lovingly offered her, it can feel like there's something wrong with the bond between you and him. But sometimes anorexia is neither a lack of love nor a disease. It is the process of that tiny body being alone with itself, calming down, understanding its environment. A new aquarium, a change in water temperature, a difference in daylight, or even your energy can affect its mood. And sometimes these changes are reflected in a short silence of a day or two. Instead of panicking in such situations, observation is the best approach. Watching their behavior, paying attention to their colors, monitoring the water temperature. Perhaps it means recognizing that silent helping hand. Your betta doesn't talk, but when it stays away from the feed, it may be trying to tell you something. Sometimes it's just a rest. Sometimes it's a message that something is wrong. Number 5. When and how much should you feed? The health of your betta fish is hidden in every grain of feed you throw. Because its tiny body doesn't want too much, it wants what is balanced. When you glance at it a few times a day, you may think, if I give it a little more, it will be happy. But not every glance is a sign. Not every surface is a request. Sometimes it is just reacting to your moving shadow. Sometimes it is greeting you. But most of all, it trusts your judgment. Here's the truth. It's ideal to feed him once or at most twice a day, as much as he can consume in a few minutes. This regimen not only protects his digestive system, but also keeps your betta's mood balanced during the day. Too much bloats the stomach, weighs down the fins, and tires the gills. No longer the graceful glide through the water, but a heavy struggle. Too little lowers its energy and dulls its color. And remember, too much of your bait harms not only its body, but also the water it lives in. The nutrients that settle to the bottom pollute the water, breed bacteria, and begin to destroy his world unseen. So what the betta needs is not an abundance of feed, but a regular, measured, and careful feeding rhythm. It needs a balance, not a clock for it to trust. And you are the one who provides this balance. Number 6. Light and feed timing. Betta fish pay attention not only to what they eat, but also to when they eat. Because in their inner world, everything moves in an orderly fashion. A day that starts with light, an awakening with calm fin movements, and then an anticipated meal. But when you disrupt this rhythm, your betta's world begins to fluctuate in a way that is hard to notice but has a great impact. If you feed early in the morning one day and at noon the next, your betta doesn't know when to wait. Every passing hour is an uncertainty, and every uncertainty is a little stress. The habit of feeding suddenly, especially as soon as the light is turned on, can have a bad effect on its biological rhythm. Because just like us, betta fish need time to wake up. The gills start to move slowly, the body warms up, the balance in the water is restored. Feed given before this awakening is complete is too heavy for the body. Both digestion suffers and behavior becomes unbalanced. In the same way, feeding late at night interrupts the resting process. This is because betta fish move according to daylight. Darkness is their resting hour. Feeding at this time not only puts a strain on the metabolism, but also causes a restless night. It is best to set a fixed time during the day and keep it as much as possible. This routine is a silent reminder in his mind that he is safe. Knowing that the lure will come is not only a physical relief for him, but also a psychological peace of mind. Feeding a betta fish is not just about dropping a few pellets. What we talk about in this video may seem like small details, but for a betta, it's a world of details. How do you feed your betta? Write in the comments, share your experience, and shed light on other betta lovers' questions.